The heart of every organization is its people. We're taking action to take care of them, to develop a world-class team, now and into the future. This is Empowering Excellence with Art and Frankie.
Welcome to Empowering Excellence. I am your host, Art Sturt, along with my co-host, Frankie.
Well, hello. Thank you.
Once again, it feels like it's been a long time since we've been in here.
It does feel like that, but we do these like every month now. Did you realize that? I just found that out today, that apparently we've gotten on a monthly drumbeat.
Well, they say time flies when you're having fun, so
That's
I'm
right.
assuming we're having fun.
Yes, we're having fun.
And talk about a very relevant topic that happens every year in October. Do you know what that is?
I do, because I studied before I got here.
I did too. It is Squirrel Awareness Month.
Oh, I thought it was Raccoon Awareness Month. Okay,
No.
It's not.
It is Squirrel Awareness Month. And there are 5 different types of squirrels that live in California.
Did you find this like on a sign as you were hiking when you were out on leave?
Francesca, I actually researched this in preparation for today's podcast. It is Squirrel Awareness Month. But I think there's actually 6 different types of squirrels. And there's one that's resident to NAVWAR.
Okay, what is that?
It's the secret squirrel.
Oh, I like that. We should come up with a mascot.
All right. That's actually not what we're going to talk about today. It's actually, what month is it?
October Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Yes, we're going to talk about cybersecurity awareness today. We have a couple of great guests with us today, a couple of NAV warriors. First is Christina Crawford,
Woohoo.
And the second is Ryan Lasiter. We'll start off by having you guys tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you become NAV warriors?
Thanks, Art. Thanks, Frankie. I'm Ryan Lasiter. I'm the Director of Digital Innovation and Data here at NAVWAR. Just to give you some background from where I came from. So I was started up at PAC, some of the labs, and came off the hill down to join our great team at headquarters 80, specifically the CIO office down here. And it's been a great opportunity so far. Turn it over to you, Christina.
So I come from a military background. I served in the military as active duty, and I was an enlisted person there. I worked in the IT field, and I was on ships. I was out in the sandboxes, and I've been at some of our communication centers. I told myself I would never go back into information assurance, and then actually was employed through one of our defense contractors here at NAVWAR and started working my way through information assurance, which we know today as cybersecurity, doing vulnerability scans and implementation. So by working my way through there, I actually ended up over at NIWC PAC, and through NIWC PAC was then pulled into NAVWAR 5.0, where I find myself today as a cybersecurity technical domain manager and also one of the cyber directorates here at NAVWAR. For the technical domain manager, a lot of the work we do there is implementation of cyber standards. I lead a lot of those initiatives under the Cybersecurity Tech Authority that is implemented Navy-wide. Those documentations are to help create a more secure and robust way of how we do those things. From a cyber directorate perspective, working with the cyber compliance elements, but also cyber defend elements for all of our program offices here at NAVWAR.
Fantastic. Yeah, really good. It is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Maybe on a more personal level, we should hit that real quick too. So, Francesca, I know you've never had any cybersecurity issues. Maybe you have. Did you want to share any of them?
I was talking to Ryan a little bit earlier, and we were both talking with one another about how intricate these scams have gotten. I personally have experience, I guess I'd call it phishing. Tax season comes around, and then everybody all of a sudden is the IRS. So I personally, a couple of years, was called. I got 2 different phishing scams. One was a phone call from the IRS who left me a voice message, and I called them back. But then I played the game, because that's what I like to do when people do this stuff with me. So
It's the extrovert now.
Yeah. Yes, how can we help you? I don't know. You called me. How can you help me? So I've had a couple of different scams personally. Thankfully, I didn't fall for them. So my cyber awareness training that I've gotten at NAVWAR and being Department of Navy employee has paid off. It is effective. But what I worry about more, it's not so much me, because I feel like I work in a place that's taught me to be smart about that stuff. I think I worry about the kids. So I got 3 kids. I got 12, 13, and almost 17. And I tell you, that dang social media, kids think it's innocent, no big deal. Oh, yeah, I'll put my birthday out there. Yeah, but they don't need your entire date of birth, like maybe just the month and the day, not the year. Or they don't need to know what color eyes and hair, what size shoe you wear and where you live. Like, they don't realize, our kids, our youth don't realize how much stuff they're giving out there to people in the dark cyber world. It's crazy. So I've just been trying to school up the kids. So yeah, I've got some stories, but thankfully nothing bad has happened because we've been able to catch it before, where I'm like, my daughter's probably like, can you please stop texting me? I'm like, well, then stop putting your information out there, and I won't have to, because I'm like, you need to remove that. So yeah, those are my stories.
If we're all being honest, that's probably happened to all of us. I'm kind of embarrassed to say what my last cybersecurity incident was. I walked into a secure space with my iPhone, so I had to self-report myself.
Ooh.
Very embarrassing, but I did it.
Thanks for sharing that.
But now I am super careful to drop it off in the locker before I walk in. So I did learn my lesson.
Okay, that's good. See, rehabilitation has occurred.
Every Nav warrior is really a cybersecurity professional, but you guys have a special skill set. Just talking to the, everyday NAVWAR employee.
Prospective employee,
which is a lot of people, hopefully. What are your top tips for cybersecurity awareness?
Oof. Well, take your security training, your yearly requirement. A lot of the good points that Frankie you made of social media, where it's like, oh, what's your favorite animal? What was your first dog's name? Yeah, don't put that out there. That's not good. If you don't know where an email was sent from or who sent it, from an internal perspective, it's not signed, you should be hesitant in opening that, right? If it's, your personal email, you should still, be that way. I get plenty of scam emails all the time. Art and I were talking about some Netflix scams that occurred. I've received the same thing. But the things, if you click on the sender's email address, sometimes they're spoofing a specific thing. You'll be able to look at the actual email, and it will definitely not be from Netflix services. I think there's some more difficult ones. Folks are getting more
The AI
advanced.
one.
Yeah.
The AI one is scary to me. No kidding. As a parent, I'm like, after I started hearing about the episodes where, you get a phone call and immediately you can tell it's like a telemarketer or something because you say hello and it's kind of dead for a little bit. They were sharing that with the AI technology, it's possible that somebody could record my voice and they could ask me a question and I could say yes. And then now they've got my recorded voice. So now they can use that.
Wow. And
they could contact my parent and it would be me and my voice. Like, I'm in trouble, I'm crying, I need money. And like, parents are quote unquote falling for it. But I mean, it's really their child's voice. So when I started hearing news stories about that, I like called a little powwow with my family. I'm like, okay, nope, we're coming up with a code word because like, this is real. This could happen. I'm already worried just about dang Facebook and Instagram with you little ones. Now I got to worry about this AI thing. So yeah, we have a code word now.
They're even using your voice for other voice authenticated services, stuff like that. So it's a hard problem to address. And the potential for, if you don't know the phone number that's calling you, don't answer it.
Yeah.
Or if they're spoofing the caller ID on it, then at least wait a second and see if someone speaks first. So you're not speaking first and they're not recording your voice or something like that. So that's a unique challenge to overcome. And I think we'll learn more as we go forward, definitely from an offensive and defensive perspective. But yeah.
I could just think that that's where my introvert comes into play because then I only do the text messages first and then I'm going to call. It's also just a thing that I like to start with text messages first. But from my side, I've had a couple of incidents myself. Part of it is why today, as a cyber practitioner, I do all the multi-factor passwords that you have in place. So not just voice or not just biometrics, but there's a lot of other ways to do that. But for the kids, there's new training, and even as a federal employee, you're offered as some of these functions where you can actually have your kids play out some of these scenarios that are virtually done so that they can learn how bad social engineering can be and social media can be for them if they don't practice proper cybersecurity. And I've started doing that with my 10-year-old just because she's very much all over social media herself. Oh, Lord help me. But it's been pretty great to just realize that those are some other opportunities that are provided. So being here, working here, and then working just within the government realms, what they've also recognized the safeguards of our families and what can enable them. So some of that has been provided there. And I just say, change your passwords as often as you can, right? And keep up with that. I know it sounds like a hassle, but it's great at the long run, especially if you've been somebody that has actually been cyber engineered so bad that they actually have infiltrated bank accounts and email addresses. That AI thing with the automatic trying to hack into your accounts, brute force is a real thing today. I just say, you can never be too secure. You can never be too aware of what's going on as well.
That's a good point. Awareness, too. So it's not just being secure. We can practice security all we want, but it's also actively monitoring and engaging your own personal kind of bubble and making sure that you're keeping tabs on things. Like if you're starting to see more emails of, phishing type emails and stuff like that, probably change your password. Probably do some of these other things, two-factor authentication or biometric or whatever it is, that you can do to take advantage of.
So stop complaining about having to change my password every 30 days.
And you can't change your password and just flip it or make it capital and lowercase.
I
You actually have to do unique passwords and don't repeat your passwords.
You can't just put one extra character at the end.
Don't just keep adding the alphabet to your...
Wait, you can't?
And don't use your phone number.
It's gotten better now where you actually have to really change it up.
I really want to thank you guys for being here today and helping us kick off Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Thank you for everything you do for the Navy and for NAVWAR and for our warfighters in the fleet. This has been really fantastic. What do you think, Frankie?
I thought this was awesome. I learned a lot more about cyber than I knew before I came in. So that's great. Thank you guys both for being here. I appreciate it. It's great working with you and looking forward to working with you guys in the future to recruit more smart people.
Look forward to it. And thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you all. And remember, change your passwords.
And I think that'll be it for this episode of Empowering Excellence. So we look forward to next time, right, Frankie?
Till next time, next month. Woohoo.
Everybody have a great day, including you future Nav warriors. Empowering Excellence with Art and Frankie is a production of the NAVWAR Headquarters Public Affairs Office in association with NAVWAR Corporate Operations. Our podcast production team includes Ed Disco Buckleton, Kara McDermott, and Ramon Go, our digital media specialist, who produced today's show. On behalf of Frankie and myself, I am Art Sterrett. Have a great Navy Day.